Okay, just start off with your name, date of birth, and then social security number.
I think for Jen and I, we met in a small group, and I think for our marriage, a small group has been kind of one of the anchor points for that.
When we started at Canyon Springs, we didn't initially jump into a small group because honestly, it was more me than Leah. I just didn't really feel comfortable. I didn't know that I would find my place in a small group.
So we joined a small group just because we wanted to get into community with other people that were going to church.
We were new to Canyon Springs, and we were looking to connect with people of our age group who had children of our age group, and just to get to know people better in the church. And so we joined a small group that was already in existence.
Well, I think it's too easy to come to church on Sundays and hide. And I'm very comfortable hiding. I'm an introvert, I'm an only child, I love hiding in corners. And so that doesn't necessarily, I don't think that's what God has meant for us.
It's good, for Jen and I, because I think the small group kind of, pulls out some things that, may not necessarily be brought up elsewhere. And so I think, as I said before, it's been like an anchor point for our relationships, and so I think, being in a small group has been beneficial for Jen and I.
It's getting in a better relationship with God and how that affects you personally, just in whether it's in your marriage. So like for me, my marriage, I was in denial of how my relationship with God really affects my relationship with my wife. And I would say I went from a selfish life to more of a serving life with my wife, and it's just, how do I be a better husband? And that's kind of what it kind of led me down this path, is that over the years of pouring into my faith, God's poured back into me by just helping knock down the walls of stuff that I've been, I've had walls up from many, childhood issues, whatever, previous marriage issues, and then over time, those walls start crumbling down, and I find out, how do I be a better Eric? How do I be a better husband? How can I be a better man, just trying to lead other men?
It's the way that you can connect, because otherwise you're anonymous. Nobody misses you if you're in a big group and you're not singled out in a small group. It's your family, if you will. If something goes wrong, that's the group you reach out to, the one you're most comfortable with, for support, and likewise for them to get support from you too.
We, Jen and I met in a small group, and as a part of that community, we were able to get to know one another, in kind of a safe place. And just by nature of a small group, people they tend to be more open, more vulnerable. And I think because of that, Jen was able to get a better idea of who I was, and I was able to get a better idea of who she was, before we ever started, dating or anything.
With COVID, we lost that for, I guess, a year or so. And then when we came back, as much as we enjoyed life slowing down for a while, it sped up so rapidly that we jumped into everything from sports to whatever extracurricular, and our focus became strictly our kids' schedules. And things were starting to just not feel like we were heading down the right path. So that's when I reached out to Chad to make sure that we get back connected into a small group again. And because we need it. We need to have these people that when we speak with them, it's not just you're having a one-on-one conversation with a friend. You have a group that you get different stories from, similar to your own, and they help you get through these difficult times and get you back on track with the way your life should be going.
When you take the leap of sharing something that's really hard for you to share, and then somebody who is in the church family acknowledging and also relating to that struggle or to that hurt or whatever it is. And so you just can't get that on Sundays. You can't.